Welcome everyone to the most visited museum in the entire world. 7 million people per year crowd this museum to see all the great works of art since prehistory all the way to our modern era. And we're going to see the most famous work right at the very start. You know it, Leonardo da Vinci's La Gioconda, also known as Mona Lisa. So welcome everyone. Let me know where you're watching from, and I hope we get at least a few, like 30 seconds to show you the painting. Then I'm going to go and tell you a little bit more about the history as we step out to the other rooms. So we are packed. The people are basically lining up in order to just get a small glimpse of the Mona Lisa. The reason is that they switched up rooms because they were going to make a massive exhibition on the anniversary on October, and that renovation led them to move the Mona Lisa to a temporary location where they end up realizing that it caused bottlenecks, and hence why there are massive lines. So welcome everyone, I'm Ariel with Urbanist. If you're tuning in for the first time, I explore the world's cities, its history, food, and culture, and its mysteries and secrets. And we're going to learn a little bit few mysteries and secrets from the Mona Lisa. So get ready. Stay alert. We're going to show it just right now. It's about like 10 to 30 seconds away. I'll try to show as much as possible, then I'll talk later. So get everyone. The Mona Lisa is in this room. Get ready. Press that heart button. Show it to your friends and family or any groups you are a part of. It's right over there. I see it in the distance. There it is, Mona Lisa, painted from 1503 all the way to 1517 by Leonardo da Vinci, one of the most iconic painters of our time. This is the most treasured painting in the entire world, dating back to all the way to 1790s when the painting was first installed here by King Louis XIV, and he came over here, and this painting has been a hit ever since. According to Guinness Book of World Records, it is the most valuable painting in the entire world. It's considered invaluable by today's standards, but back in the 1950s they valued it at US $100 million, but now that is easily $650 million in today's money, but it's probably worth way much more. However, is it the real Mona Lisa? Well, we're going to get to that soon. After we get out, we're going to learn all about the crazy history. Also, if there is some mystery as to what happened, because in 1911, it was snatched from the very museum. All right, let's go. Hello, Vaughn. How much crowded? Very crowded. Luckily, I got here in a swift 20 minutes, but it's because I came very late before the museum closes at 9:45 p.m. I'll try to show you as much as the Mona Lisa as possible. That's the size. It's encased in bulletproof glass. Super high security. The Mona Lisa in total weighs about 150 pounds, and because Leonardo da Vinci painted it in 3 panels of wood as opposed to canvas, and those 3 panels of wood itself weighs about 8 pounds in total, but the frame itself is a whopping 50 pounds, around there. Plus all the metal pieces that are attached to it in order to secure it as best as possible. So I'll try my best to zoom in to show you as much as possible. We're surrounded by a bunch of other paintings. I don't know much about this, but if anyone knows, please let me know in the comments. Hello, Vaughn. Hello, Gladys. Hello, Kay. Hello, Danny from Knoxville. I never see a section line for the Mona Lisa. It's because they changed rooms and created a bottleneck. I'm so excited. It's packed to the brim with people. Let me know where you're watching from. Have you seen the Mona Lisa before? Let me know. Hello, Sven. Hello, Janet. Hello, Arlinda, Diane, Ramonita, Nemia, Caitlin. Welcome. Bring as many people here as possible. Share with your friends and family. Here it is, the most famous painting in the entire world. However, in 1911, it was snatched away from the Louvre, and no one was able to tell. 28 months it was missing. What happened to it? Well, we're going to find out. Where did it go and how did it come back? And did it ever really come back? Well, more on that soon. But also, is the Mona Lisa the original Mona Lisa? Was it the first one that Leonardo da Vinci actually painted? Well, we'll also find out that soon. Now, the Mona Lisa's name in French and Italian is La Gioconda because it's a painting of Lisa Gioconda, a wealthy merchant family in Italy, and Leonardo da Vinci was commissioned to paint it. However, he never actually gave it to the family, at least this version that we know of. So Leonardo da Vinci never gave this painting to the family and continued tinkering on it until 1517. And in 1517, no one really knows whether this version was the first one he started painting in 1503. And there's been evidence recently that the painting is in various layers. Okay, let's zoom in here. There we go. Oh, wow. So this painting was also unique for its time because it was the very first painting where the subject of the painting is looking at you. It's interacting with the viewer of the painting. It was uncalled for, unprecedented before the time of Leonardo da Vinci. So Leonardo da Vinci basically revolutionized painting because one, Lisa Gioconda was not a world-renowned aristocrat. She was just a wealthy daughter of a wealthy merchant family, but nowhere near nobility. And then second, this painting looks straight at you, and look at it. Even this distance, me showing it via the camera, it kind of looks like it's looking at us, which is absolutely kind of interesting, engaging, it draws you in, also a little bit eerie. And also her hand gestures on the bottom are more open, which make the painting kind of seem inviting. It's almost flirtatious. You don't know who she is, what she's thinking. Let me zoom a little bit back. I'll zoom back in once we get closer. I'll be looking at your comments after we go out and explore the rest of the museum. But since we're here, just bring as many people as possible. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You don't see this on TV. We're seeing the Mona Lisa live. We're all here live. 68 people. Press that heart button. Let me know if you're enjoying this. Okay, I don't have a third arm, so if anyone can take a screenshot. All right. Hopefully someone took a screenshot of that. Okay, thank you whoever took a screenshot. Thank you for that. Okay, let's go back to the painting. So there has been studies recently. A great documentary on BBC showed that the painting has various layers, and this shows that it might have been the third and final layer. The first original was a lot smaller. She was much skinnier. The Mona Lisa, Lisa Gioconda, was smaller, was younger, and then the second version, the head was much bigger, almost twice the size as it is now. Okay, I'm done speaking. Let's just take this in. Oh, wow. If you want actual size, this is the perspective. She is very small, but very, very heavy, painted on 3 panels of wood. Let me show you.
Allez, let's go.
Vaughn, I'm so happy you think this is so cool. Hello, Janet. So look, she's still looking at us. That's so breathtaking. Let's take one more closer look. Let's get very close on her. Look, you can see better quality photographs of her. There we go. They're very, very strict in not letting people linger. But we got plenty of her, which was awesome. I am in awe as well. So let me just linger outside here. And let me show you the line. This is how the line looks from over here. Look how huge this line is. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, everyone else who took great screenshots. It's so wonderful. My voice is cracking because I'm filled with so much adrenaline. I did not imagine I could go do a live video at the most important painting in the entire world and not being yelled at or anything for it. The Louvre, you are awesome for allowing video. Thank you so much. You're truly helping advancing the arts. It's not usually the case where you can film video any museum. I have been unable to film in the Met and many other awesome museums, but the Louvre, so cool. This is so awesome. I'll get to the story soon. Wow. So beautiful. What's the best time to see her? Come here on a Friday before the museum closes. This line went very swift. I was able to linger here for, as you saw, you lingered here with me. So that was about 5 or 10 minutes. But to get up here was a quick 20 minutes. If you come here earlier in the day, you'll be waiting for way too long. So if you come here before October, you're going to encounter this line. You're going to encounter this huge carousel of people. If you come here before October, come here before closing on a Friday night. It's also free on a Friday night, but you do have to reserve ahead of time. And you'll be able to see the Mona Lisa just a little bit longer than other people are doing during the day. Bonjour, Donna, Alexandra, welcome. All right. 1911, August 1911. Pretty much same time, a few hundred something years ago. The people at the Louvre woke up and there was a painter coming in very, very early to paint the Mona Lisa. Back in 1911 and for most of the early history of the Louvre, you can come at any point to see any of the paintings around here. Of course, the Mona Lisa by that time was the most treasured artwork of the Louvre all the way back then. But it was about to get way more famous. Because as this painter took out his canvas and his easel and all his brushes that he stored in a closet close to the room, he noticed that the painting wasn't there. And there's an orange beret. I did not see the orange beret. So cool. Someone's wearing urbanist orange. So this young painter copying the Mona Lisa, and you were allowed to copy any painting. The only restriction against art forgery is that you cannot paint it the same exact size. So you couldn't paint the Mona Lisa in the same exact dimensions. You couldn't paint these paintings in those same exact dimensions. But the painter really wanted to continue his work. He wanted to finish up the copy of the Mona Lisa. So he went up to one of the guards, who usually stand around. He asked the guard, "Hey, where's the Mona Lisa? When is it coming back?" And the guard says, I don't know. It's probably some photographer probably took it in order to photograph the Mona Lisa. And he was like, "Okay, when is it coming back?" And the guard was like, I really don't know. And he goes asks another guard. And the other guard says, "Oh, they probably took it for repairs because, they're always constantly repairing the wooden frames of all these paintings, also making sure that the painting's not deteriorating. It's very common practice. However, they went to the photographer. The photographer had no clue what happened to the Mona Lisa. He wasn't photographing it. The people who do the conservation work, the woodwork, had no clue where it was. They called up the president of the museum. He was on vacation. He had no idea what the hell happened to the Mona Lisa. And the entire Louvre awoke in a huge panic. Where was the most famous painting in the world? It was no longer at the wall, no longer anywhere in the vicinity of this entire museum. They scoured the entire museum and couldn't find anything. This scared a whole lot of people because this was the most famous painting in the world. And the entire French police went on a national search. The powers at the European level started going through every other country, Germany, London, Italy, Spain, in order to find the Mona Lisa. But they couldn't find it. No one had any clue where it was. Months went by, 12, 20, 1 year. As 1 year, as it was being published all around the news, newspapers all around were talking about where is the Mona Lisa, will ever come back. People were leaving flowers by the empty board placement in order to mourn the loss of this great, great painting, gone, forever disappeared. So what happened? 28 months later, more than 2 years, in Italy, there was a tip from an anonymous person who said that there was a man called Leonardo who stole the painting in order to give it back to the Italians. Because the original painter is Leonardo da Vinci, and he was Italian. So, of course, Italy deserved the painting back. And the man called Leonardo sent a message to the French police saying, I have no interest in money. I have no interest in selling this. I want to give this painting back to the Italians because they stole it 100 years ago. Well, first, this Leonardo character was wrong. They didn't steal it 100 years ago. King Louis XIV bought it. It was never stolen. He bought it a little bit more than 100 years ago. So it wasn't Napoleon who stole it as he thought it was. The second thing is, the police knew who this Leonardo character might be. Alright. So let's go back to the day that the painting went missing, before the artist took out his canvas and his easel and all of his brushes. Let's go back. This was a Tuesday when the museum reopened. Tuesday when the museum reopened. Let's go back to Monday morning. Monday morning in the Louvre, there's usually, at that time, there was closets everywhere. The closets were in place for the artists who were copying these paintings or studying the painting to save their canvases and save their materials. One of the closets opens. Lauren, when you saw the Mona Lisa, was in the other room and couldn't get that close. And we did kind of get close. Thank you so much for emailing me. Linda, I'm doing well. So let me show you the Mona Lisa a little bit again. Fantastic table. We film and share this. So one of the closets, and this is not the actual room that I was located in originally, but you can just imagine, one of the closets opened up during Monday when the museum is supposed to be closed. scraggly man, kind of wearing a suit a little bit too big, crazy hair, age about 31 years old, same age as me, comes out of the closet, museum completely empty. However, he's wearing the similar uniform as all the other workers do. He comes out, looks around, doesn't see any guards, opens up the glass encasing. How did he open it up? Well, we'll find out. And took the painting. However, this painting was very heavy. As I mentioned, it's more than 150 pounds. At that time, the glass encasing adds up to a whopping 200 pounds. But somehow he took it off the glass encasing, reduced the weight a little bit, and put it into a bag and walked right outside. And as he walked right outside, he got downstairs and ran into a door. He had a key. However, that key was not working. He got to the doorknob and started panicking. He heard someone come downstairs. And as he heard someone come downstairs, he saw that it was one of the plumbers. And since he was wearing workman's clothes from the Louvre, he told the plumbers, he like pulled out the doorknob and he told one of the plumbers, the doorknob, it's not there. Can you help me open up the door? And the plumber looked at him and was like, yeah, sure. And he took out his pliers and opened up the door for this mysterious man who had a huge bag under his arms. He walked outside and was free. Another witness later on said that this mysterious man who walked outside with a huge, well, not huge, but the painting was pretty small, but walked out with a painting basically, saw that he threw a metal something into one of the trash cans. The police later found out that in the trash can was the doorknob. So, who was this man that walked into the Louvre, hid in the closet, and strolled out with the most important painting in the world? Well, let's go back 28 months later. The authorities in Italy heard about a man that they had to interview for a second time. The first time he was already interviewed, just shortly after the Mona Lisa went missing, because the Louvre interviewed every single employee that was working for the Louvre. This employee, his name was Vincenzo Pugari, and Vincenzo Pugari was one of the men who crafted the glass enclosure of the Mona Lisa. So Vincenzo was questioned in his Paris apartment, and they didn't see anything wrong, and they just left. But 24 months later, Vincenzo's name comes up once again. A friend of his named Jerry says that he is the Leonardo who sent the mysterious note to the French authorities. So they went to Leonardo's house, Vincenzo's house, and they found them sleeping, taking a nap. And as they burst in through the doors, hidden right beside his bed was the Mona Lisa. Vincenzo was the one who stole it. However, things get interesting, because at first Vincenzo gave one story. Jerry, the friend who ratted on Vincenzo, gave another story. And after they arrested Vincenzo and knew that he was the one that stole the painting, Vincenzo Perugia said another story. This was weird. He was already caught. He was already sentenced. Why was he giving another story? that's where things get very mysterious. So the official story is that Vincenzo Peruggia stole the Mona Lisa. And the French authorities managed to capture the man, sentence him, and put the Mona Lisa back in the Louvre. Everyone was super happy. The press was happy. Stories went all around the world that the Mona Lisa, the world's most treasured painting of a woman, finally came back. However, there's something weird about Vincenzo's story. So, let me show you the Mona Lisa one more time. And let's get into now a little bit more of the conspiracy. All that I just said was the actual history. But let's get into a conspiracy. No one could prove it, but it gets people thinking. Hello, Diane. When I saw it, I was surprised how small it is. Yeah, it's so tiny. Nicolas Cage comes into frame and steals it. That would be so awesome. You see, compared to the other paintings, it's very small. So Vincenzo Peruggia could have easily stole it. And he did easily steal it. But the story doesn't end there. Because people still found out that it was very weird that Vincenzo gave different stories. Now there is a conspiracy. Again, this is not provable history. It's not evidence. It's just a story that people have pondered whether it was true or not. No one has proven it yet. There were reports of an art dealer that went around to some of the greatest, wealthiest, the newest, wealthiest families of America. As you know from New York City history, America had a boom in wealth in the late 1800s after the Civil War. It was the Gilded Age, and people were making tons and tons of money. A lot of this new wealth of America wanted to own some of the most expensive paintings in the world because they really wanted a good elevation in status alongside their French and English brethren. So apparently this art dealer went to a few of these families and said he had a painting he wanted to sell. But it had to be completely secret. Because if anyone said anything, he would be implicated, or they would be implicated too. The painting that this man was selling was apparently the Mona Lisa. So, what happened? Well, according to some sources, the man ended up selling it to an unknown buyer for about $80 million around there in today's money. This unknown buyer, no one really knows for sure, definitely an American, apparently got the painting. However, Vincenzo, the art dealer, was smart, and he apparently made a second painting, a forgery. This second painting was the one that apparently was sold to the American. The real one was apparently the one that Vincenzo was with. However, some people think it's the opposite. Some people think that the art dealer was the one who kept the painting, who sold the real painting, and the forgery was the one in Vincenzo's hands. So, is this the real Mona Lisa? Well, probably yes. Probably yes. Most likely. I would say 97% sure it is. However, the Louvre to this day does not allow anyone outside of museum staff to show the Mona Lisa or to investigate or study the Mona Lisa. Jackie, here it is one more time. So, is this the real Mona Lisa? Well, things get even more interesting because a mysterious consortium of very wealthy businessmen from Asia have a secret room in Singapore, extremely well guarded. The BBC recently got access to this about 2 years ago. They showed this mysterious room in the consortium. This art deal is real. This has been publicized. So let's go back to real facts now. So this consortium, no one knows who the full consortium is. However, people just know that they're very wealthy businessmen. And they pulled in their money together to buy the Mona Lisa. But not this Mona Lisa. Another Mona Lisa. The Mona Lisa is called the Isleworth Mona Lisa because it was found in the late 1800s. It has been known to exist ever since the 1800s, but no one really knows for sure whether it's an actual Leonardo da Vinci. Apparently, this Isleworth Mona Lisa, it's named after Isleworth, who was the man who was the first dealer who bought it. That Isleworth Mona Lisa is of a much younger Mona Lisa, much skinnier. Lisa Giocondo, when she was in her late teens, early 20s. This adds up because Leonardo da Vinci was commissioned to paint Lisa Giocondo, the daughter of the wealthy Italian merchant family, to paint her when she was in her late teens, early 20s. But wait, I'll show you the Mona Lisa again. Tell me what age do you think this Mona Lisa is? How old do you think she is? Honestly, let me know in the comments. No, I can't go through the line again, unfortunately, but I'll be taking a walk through the rest of the museum. If you want to see the Mona Lisa as close as possible, go and watch the replay after this. So how old do you think the Mona Lisa is? I'll wait for your guesses. I'm so happy so many people are tuning in. Welcome, everyone. You say French wine is good. I haven't tried it yet. I'll try it soon. I'll let you know. I haven't had any wine yet. Late 20s, early 30s. In her 30s, says Dora. 21. Do you think she's really 21? I mean, I know some 21-year-olds look older, but look at her. She's not 21. She's not 16 right there. She could be 26, but even then, I would say yes. She's more like 40 years old. Don, I would agree with you. And a lot of people do agree with you. The woman depicted here is around like 40 years old. Late 30s, early 40s. So late 30s, early 40s is when Lisa Giocondo died, unfortunately. But Leonardo started painting this in 1503 when Lisa was in her late teens. So why is this painting older? Well, from what we know is that Leonardo painted this in 1517. So recently, a few years ago, about 20 years ago or so, there was studies in Leonardo's students' official notes. This man was a student of Leonardo da Vinci, and he took a lot of notes about the work of his teacher. He greatly admired Leonardo. And inside his notes, they found a Mona Lisa. But this Mona Lisa, again, looked skinnier, was much more vibrant, had a little bit more of a wide-eyed look to her, a little bit longer hair. Why did Leonardo's apprentice paint a different Mona Lisa, saying that that was the Mona Lisa he saw from his teacher, Leonardo da Vinci? This is actual notes. You can actually find this proof of this if you search online, and then go to the libraries where they're kept as well. So, what gives? Well, there's either two theories. One, that Leonardo da Vinci painted two Mona Lisas. The Isleworth Mona Lisa is real. The second theory is what I said earlier while on the line. The Mona Lisa was painted in three different versions on the same wood blocks. And there is some proof to this. In a recent study, as I mentioned, they did some X-ray. There's a machine where you could do X-rays and see the many layers of a painting. Because many painters, whatever painters they are, maybe a Rembrandt, a Raphael, a Monet, etc., 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 they have various layers to their paintings because they improve on their paintings. Sometimes when you see people having tattoos, for example, they might adjust their tattoos over time. It's common practice for any painter. So they did a study, and they found out three distinct layers for this Mona Lisa that is right here. The first layer shows a much larger head. Maybe Leonardo wanted to paint the Mona Lisa much bigger. Lisa Gioconda, much bigger. The second layer was a very thin, skinnier, and younger Lisa Gioconda. And the third layer is what we see here, the modern day Mona Lisa, much older. So what happened? Well, the normal story is, and most likely this is the truth, at least that's what I'm assuming, is that this Mona Lisa is the one that Leonardo da Vinci only painted, and he just painted it over on top. He drew earlier Lisa Gioconda and added later on in 1517, for some unknown reason, because he wasn't commissioned by the family, he never gave this painting to the family, to paint an older Lisa Gioconda. But why? Why did the student not see this version in the last days of his teacher's life, where he showed it to him in private? Why does this Mona Lisa look older? And why did Leonardo da Vinci, assuming this is real, and again, this is most likely the real painting, you can tell from its beautiful mastery, even looking at it in person, there's something magical to it. But no one knows. You can see magic and still think, you can still feel something magical from something that's not real. So why did he paint her older? Well, that is the third mystery of today. What was his relationship with Lisa Gioconda? Why did he paint her later in age, not being commissioned to do so, after she passed away? Who was he to her? No one really knows. There's no proof behind that. But I think that might be part of the magic that happens with the Mona Lisa right here. Just looking at it, there's some magic to it. I nearly teared up. I held my tears back because I'm on live video, but I nearly teared up seeing this painting in person. And this has an effect on many people. Maybe Lisa was something deeper to Leonardo. Bonjour. 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 Maybe Mona Lisa was something deeper to Leonardo. No one knows. But it feels that way. I know that's why millions of people come to see her. Maybe that's why. Maybe there is some story there, much deeper. Something that Leonardo wanted to memorialize her for all eternity. Luckily, he was successful. Whoever Lisa Gioconda really was to Leonardo. Thank you everyone so much for listening to this story. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think of all these three mysteries. The mystery of the missing Mona Lisa, the mystery of the two Mona Lisas, or the multiple versions of the Mona Lisa, and the mystery of who Lisa Gioconda was to Leonardo da Vinci. If you enjoyed the story, let me know in the comments. And please share this video with your friends and family and any Facebook groups. If you would like to walk through the rest of the Louvre, let me know. Let me show it to you one more time. Dora, you say I'm a little kid listening to you. You're a great storyteller. Oh, thank you so much, Dora. In my building's community room, and everyone here is interested in what I'm watching. Maybe I'll recruit some new followers. Jackie, yes, feel free to tell them the Facebook page. Karen, you say this is so cool to see you in Paris and that you're alive from the Louvre. People in those times looked older at 40. True. And of course, you might be, some of you might be right that just Lisa Gioconda aged pretty late and pretty early. Sean, although I'm sitting down, I'll give you a standing ovation. And Helga, I'm loving this tour. Oh, so amazing. So there it is, the Mona Lisa. The painting who has some magic that is unspeakable, undefinable, uncalculatable. Because the Mona Lisa, maybe she was something much deeper to Leonardo da Vinci, but nonetheless, she means something to the millions, tens of millions of people who come to see her every single year. They all have a different interpretation. They all have a different feeling to this mysterious painting whose eyes follow you as you walk through her, where you feel like you are in the room with Lisa Gioconda or whoever she really was. Maybe, most likely she's real, but even if she's not, we cannot deny the magic. Because even in our lives, there's copies of copies of copies of copies. No life is 100% unique. We are all stemming from something else. Okay. So it seems a bit easy sometimes to tell stories, but it is rather intense to kind of tell a story. It feels like an entire performance. At least that's how I feel. I'm not sure how you feel if you ever do public speaking or storytelling, but it is quite a journey. Okay, I'm going to take a small break. Let's walk around the museum and enjoy the rest of the Louvre as much as we can. Let me know what time it is in Paris time, because we have until 9:45. Let's try to see as much as we can. So now let's walk through the Louvre. If you want to learn more about the Louvre's construction, go to the first part of this broadcast. It's already posted. You can see the replay. But let's go and see more of these paintings. And there's one really interesting painting. Is it here? No, I don't think it's this one. Let's go downstairs. Let's see if we can go to the other rooms. Thank you so much. 12:13. Okay, good. We have a good 30 minutes to see at least something. I hope to see the winged, that beautiful winged sculpture, Winged Victory. We'll see if we can try it out. It's a closed room over here. Monet! I'm not sure if Monet is here. If anyone can verify if Monet is here. But I'll probably show you Monet as we go to another museum soon. It'll be off the schedule, so be sure to put on your notifications. The link I'll put in the comments afterwards. So here it is. Okay, let's go and see the rest of the museum. Rosemary, how's my French? Not very good. I am very bad at pronouncing French. I'm doing better. It takes practice, but I did not come here knowing too much French. Just the very bare basics. So no, that's not the exit. They're just telling you where to go to the exit, because the thing is, a lot of people come to the Louvre and they only go to see the Mona Lisa. Literally, like I think it's like 60%. I forgot the exact percentage. Around 60% of the Louvre tends to be mostly empty most of the time, because people just literally come for the Mona Lisa and leave, or maybe see the Winged Victory and a few other pieces. But let me show you the rest of the Louvre. Let me try to show you as much as possible. Yes! To make a donation to this page, go to paypal.me/Ariel Vieira. And don't click goods or services, because it's a donation. If you do want to give a one-time donation, feel free to do so. It's a contribution, and Paris is not going to be the last place we're going to visit. It's just the beginning. We'll take virtual tours in a week, 2-week spans through other cities like Edinburgh, Tokyo, Rome. And I'll put a system: if you donate above a certain amount, you can vote into what is the next city. I'll unveil that system soon. I'll keep a database of whoever gave a one-time contribution. But let's keep walking around. It's pronounced Ariel, but its original pronunciation is in Spanish, and it's Ariel. Though most people, because I hang out with most people who speak English, primarily, I say Ariel. Ariel. Oh, look at these tapestries. So all these tapestries depict like huge like stories about hunting, mostly. And they were always in an exhibition for the rich nobility. Probably this is French, most likely. Though the Louvre has great works from British artists as well, because the French end up acquiring a few pieces from the British Museum. They used to be in the British Museum. Annie, you say they're gorgeous. I love museums, says Helga. Is that a dress on your Facebook page? I'm not sure. You're probably seeing the wrong Facebook page. I don't depict many dresses. Oh, this is dark. It's dark. So this is very dark, but here's the selfie mode, and this is like part of the royal family's furniture. And that is the bed. The bed used to have huge coverings all around it. So cool. So yeah, these are the French rooms in place. However, it's too dark. Let's see if we can find a room that's a little bit better lit. Okay, I wouldn't recommend this for most people, but it's a special time. We're all on live video. I don't have too much time in the Louvre, so I'm going to just rush through it. But feel free to come again and enjoy or rewind. But let's kind of just see as much as we can, and then you can judge for yourself to see later. I want to try to see the Winged Victory, so let's try to go as fast as possible. No map. I'm just going randomly. I'm not gonna bother with the map. Have too little time. I'm just going to enjoy the beauty of this museum. And it's cool coming here at night. So we're literally here as the sun has already set. Again, you can watch the replay and pause at anything that you would like to see. If you would like to see another museum or the Louvre again, if you would like to see the Louvre again, let me know. I have a museum pass. I might do a second trip because I think the story of the Mona Lisa really deserved as much time as it did. So we might be going also to the Museum of Rodin soon. Wow. Excuse-moi, where's the Wing de Victory?
It's the opposite building.
The opposite building. Yeah.
It's on right.
Sure.
Right again.
Right again. Okay. Is it a long walk?
10, 15 minutes.
15 minutes? Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay, so it's about 10-15 minutes to the Wing Victory, so I'm not going to bother. I'll come here for a second time, show you Wing Victory. It's a really cool sculpture, but let me show you the view of the courtyard that has been covered up. So, as we saw outside, there's a few courtyards. They're called cours, and we saw a few of the open ones. However, in the modern section where Napoleon III built his they end up covering one of them, and they end up making this sculpture garden. So let's go downstairs and see the sculpture garden. So yes, I forgot the exact number, but it's around this outlandish. Let's go down here. It's around this outlandish. If you were to take 30 seconds to see every single piece, it would take you more than a lifetime, literally more than 100 years, to see every single piece if you took 30 seconds to stop. So it's impossible. Why I recommend the museums, I'll keep saying this as I'm walking, is to just walk around as quickly as possible in the beginning. So come here very early to a museum, or just have enough time so you could do like a run through, at least a portion of it. The Louvre, it's a little bit difficult because it's so kind of winding around. But you can do a run through, and as you're doing a run through, you end up embracing a lot of the pieces and getting to know them. And then you can stop, grab a coffee, and then come back and say, "Ooh, I want to see that horn right here, this wine cup." And then you can come back and see whatever you caught your eye. So cool that there's so much empty space. It's so awesome. I think I just went in the circle. Yep, I went in the circle. I literally have the museum all to myself. I feel like Vincenzo Bugaria when he was stuck in here at Monday when it was closed. This is probably the very few times you'll see the Louvre completely empty if you're not someone who works here. So I think this is way more magical than seeing any particular piece. Look how empty it is. So here we're seeing a depiction of war elephants. Oh wow. This was probably, I'm guessing, a depiction of Alexander the Great invading India. Or Hannibal coming in with his war elephants to invade Rome. Either one of those two. Let's check. So another great film that shows the Louvre empty is, check out the film Da Vinci Code. It's a really great film. Also the Godard film, Band Apart, also shows the Louvre like almost empty very early in the day, and there's like a chase scene through the Louvre, filmed on location. Alright, so we're getting close to where the sculpture garden is located. Let's see if we can catch a glimpse. Alright everyone, I'm back. Let's see if we can catch the sculpture garden, which there should be right over here. Okay, here it is. Let's check out the sculpture garden. This one? So yeah, very thick walls. Also, I'm relying on the Wi-Fi for the Louvre. But here's the sculpture garden one last time. And let's so let's find our way out. I hope everyone enjoyed this live video. I might do a third part of the Louvre inside again to show you Winged Victory and maybe 2 of the 3 pieces. If you want to lend your support to Urbanist so I can keep making more videos like this. Oh wow. Let me just show you real quickly. Here, I think these are the Assyrian tablets. Oh wow. Oh wow. Okay, let me just show you from a distance. These are the Syrian tablet, not this Assyrian tablets. Huge depictions of people, like a farming. There's like depictions of a work, but also very interesting bearded men. Now this motif of bearded men appears all throughout history. It's rather mysterious because no one knows what those men are, because they appear in Aztec mythology, Maya mythology, everything else. So a lot of these things were acquired by the French military during their excursions abroad. Some of them have been returned, but some of them stay here, which is a complicated subject, of course. But it's enjoyable to see almost all of human history in one single museum. It's really impressive. Let me show you more. So yeah, if you want to lend your support, you can become a supporter. Click that Become a Supporter button right down there. Or if you want to make a one-time contribution, feel free to do so at paypal.me/Ariel Vieira. I put the link in the comments as well. Someone could copy the link once again. All right, everyone, I'm going to end here. Thank you so much for tuning in for this special broadcast about the Mona Lisa. I really hope you enjoyed this story. I hope you tune in for other videos that we end up doing. And thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I'll be coming back live tomorrow at 9 a.m. New York City time. What is it? 3 p.m. Paris time, every single day until the 25th of August. Thank you so much for tuning in. And everyone, keep being awesome and always keep on exploring. Have a great day, everyone. Au revoir. Au revoir. Bye-bye. I don't want to leave. I'm just going to stay here like Vincenzo did. I promise I won't steal anything. I'm just going to sneak into that closet over there, and I'm just going to sleep here. Please don't tell anyone. Bye-bye.